Delta Downs Insider. Sponsored by the Louisiana Quarter Horse Breeders Association, supporting the quarter horse racing and breeding industry in the state of Louisiana.
It's just a cool Breeds Champions Passage and Jethro Almighty on the outside. They hit the line together.
The Delta Downs Insider Race Recap.
We start out with the fastest qualifier for the $144,000 Firecracker Derby. And we focus on the 7-horse. That's Bobby Martinez trained Runaway Wagon, seen here with David Alvarez aboard, on a track listed as good. Watch him as this PYC Paint Your Wagon 3-year-old really accelerates in the last 100 yards to capture the top spot for the finals, to be held on July 7th. It was only the second win in 6 lifetime starts for the gelding, who is out of a dashing by mare named Dashing Vike. He is owned by Tommy Hayes and Bobby Barnett, and was bred in the state of Kansas by Michelle Maywes. The top 5 runners in this race qualify into the finals, including the second place finisher here, Surfin' Waves, who qualified as the 4th fastest qualifier going into the finals. A very impressive effort was put in by Heath Taylor trained Lizard King, seen here under John Hamilton winning his trial heat to qualify as the 2nd fastest in the field. He is a Valiant Hero gelding owned by his breeder, Brett Minnan. No other horse in this trial would advance. But multiple horses from this race would fit into the top 10, including the 3rd fastest qualifier, SS Trick or Treat, seen here winning his trial. If you'd like to see a list of the top 10 qualifiers, go to stallionesearch.com. Now on to the Grade 2 Firecracker Futurity trials that were from last Saturday. And making sure the 3-year-olds in his barn don't overshadow the 2-year-olds, trainer Bobby Martinez qualifies the filly Shake 'em Little Corona under David Alvarez for owner-breeder Bobby Barnett. Bobby Martinez now has the fastest qualifier not only in the Derby but also in the Futurity going into the finals. Shake 'em Little Corona is by the now-deceased sire Tiny's First Corona, out of the Royal Shake 'em mare named Shake 'em Little Oro. She is now 2 for 2 lifetime, and she garnered a speed index of 99 for this effort of 17.332 seconds for the 350-yard trial. It was one of 2 horses qualified into the finals by the Martin Alvarez trainer-jockey combo. The 2nd place finisher to Shake 'em Little Corona was Ronnie James, who claimed the number 2 spot in the qualifying for trainer Heath Taylor and owner Brett Minnan. The 3rd fastest qualifier in the field is the smartly named colt Mr. Einstein, who is the other half of the duo of stakes qualifiers coming out of the Bobby Martinez barn. He was bred in Texas by his owner George Mraz. Also qualifying in the field at the number 5 spot is the Grade 2 Harrah's Entertainment Futurity winner, Interesting Man, for trainer Javier Contreras and owner Javier Ramirez. Remember to be at Delta on July 7th, as the Vinton, Louisiana racetrack will be the focal point of attention for the entire quarter horse racing world. These 4 stellar stakes slated for that night of racing. Where on earth can a 2-year-old quarter horse run for a $1 million guaranteed purse against state breds? Well, it's probably the state with the number 1 state bred program in the U.S. The state that has 4 major racetracks that combine to run a minimum of 148 days a year? Still need a hint? Get on over to Evangeline Downs on November the 17th to witness the $1 million guaranteed Louisiana Quarter Horse Breeders Association Futurity. That's right, a $1 million purse for Louisiana-bred 2-year-olds. The Louisiana Quarter Horse Breeders Association, supporting the quarter horse racing and breeding industry in Louisiana. And now part 1 of the special feature spotlight of Louisiana-bred quarter horse racing legend Vals Fortune, who is the only Louisiana-bred ever to win the Louisiana Triple Crown that consists of the Mardi Gras, the Louisiana Quarter Horse Sales Futurity, and the Louisiana Quarter Horse Breeders Futurity at Louisiana Downs. Vals Fortune is the only Louisiana-bred millionaire with earnings of over $1.1 million. He is by Dashing Val and is out of the 6 Fortunes mare named Something Like a Breeze. Last week in Part 1, Vals' fortune had set the quarter horse racing world on notice with his top-notch performance in the Mardi Gras Futurity. His next test would be the Laddie Futurity trials at Delta Downs, in which he qualified for the finals with Gilbert Ortiz aboard. But adversity had struck as the horse had developed a bit of an abscess prior to the finals. That race would turn out to be a telltale sign of great things to come for the gelding, according to owner Teddy Abrams Jr.
Yeah, we knew that the horse was, you know, like any athlete, you can't be expected to do your best every time. But this horse was just doing everything perfect. You know, he lost his first race of his career. He pulled his front shoes off, lost by a nose, and then that was it. He won the Mardi Gras, and then we came back over here, and he kicked a lot. So Heath would have to haul him in with somebody riding in the trailer. He would kick the stall walls, kick the trailer, so he's kept his feet kind of in bad shape.
He didn't like being stabled at the racetrack, and Heath would haul him in the night before, you know, get there at midnight and run the next day and then haul him right back. I'll tell you what, it took a nice 2-year-old to do that kind of damage and win them kind of races.
And he had a really bad abscess the day of the race. Me and Tracy and Heath were over at Hassenflug Farms. They were letting us use stalls over there to prepare for the race. And when Heath got the abscess to break, you could literally put like 2 quarters side by side in the hole. And it had rained, and it was, you know, over ankle deep in the water in the gates. And we were really on the fence. Do we even run him? Do we, you know, well, he's still a gelding, and we just won the Mardi Gras. So, and he's sound, even though he has his abscess issue, so let's run him. And he just blew him away. And after that race, we were like, wow, you know, we may be on for a ride here. That's something really special.
As mentioned, Vals' fortune would go on to roll to victory in the Laddie Futurity by 2 3/4 lengths for a speed index of 101 at Delta Downs, before turning around and winning his trial and the finals in the Lee Berwick Memorial Futurity at the end of the meet. After those 2 successful stakes scores, the Geldings Connections put their sights on capturing an incentive put in place by the Louisiana Quarter Horse breeders Association.
Okay, well, that was the last year they had the Triple Crown bonus awarded here in Louisiana, and it was a $500,000 bonus for any horse that won the Mardi Gras Futurity, the Sale Futurity, and the Breeders' Futurity.
And completing the field and looking for his 7th consecutive victory is Vals' fortune number 10.
Be sure to check back next week on the Delta Downs Insider as we continue the series on Vals' fortune, Louisiana legend.
The Delta Downs Insider Stallion Spotlight.
This week's Delta Downs Insider Stallion Spotlight shines upon PYC Paint Your Wagon. PYC Paint Your Wagon had a top weekend with putting 3 qualifiers into the finals for the Firecracker Derby, including being the sire of the fastest qualifier, Runaway Wagon. PYC Paint Your Wagon is the #1 sire in the nation of money earners for 2012, and he is also the #2 sire of 2-year-old money earners in the nation thus far this year. You can view the member stallion page of PYC Paint Your Wagon at stallionesearch.com.
The Insider Race Preview.
There are no stake races this weekend at Delta, but on Saturday, the restricted Grade 1 Lee Berwick Memorial Futurity Trials are set to be contested, which will include the restricted Grade 2 Lassie Futurity winner Miss Jingles contesting the 350R trials, as well as Dashing Forward, who finished 2nd in the Laddie Futurity last time out. That'll wrap it up for the Delta Downs Insider for this week. If you can't make it out to the track this week, be sure to log on to aqha.com/racing and watch the Q Racing videos. We'll see you next week here on the Delta Downs Insider.